हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी, दंडवत प्रणाम।
Hare Krishna, Dandavas Pranam. So, thank you all for joining today. So, we will try and summarize the rest of the chapters, chapter 8 till 15, today, and so thereby we can conclude the seventh canto. And next week we have Gaura Purnima. So Mahaprabhu, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's appearance day next Thursday. So we will not have a session next Thursday. And so a week, 2 weeks today, from today, then we can begin the 8th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. So let me do short invocation and then we can discuss. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Krishna Padaya Krishna Presthaya Putale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namne Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desha Tarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Shri Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Right. So yeah. So in the previous chapters, we had seen how Hiranyakashipu, became angry after his brother Hiranyaksha was killed by Varahadev. He then performed severe austerities and he worshipped Lord Brahma. Thereby, he received boons from Lord Brahma and immense power. So with that, he became proud and trying to control everyone and torture everyone. The demigods approached Lord Vishnu, seeing this, and Lord Vishnu said that, I will be able to kill Hiranyakashipu when he tortures his son. Keeping the boons given by Brahma intact, I would do this job. But till then, please continue hearing and chanting about me. Demigods went like that, went home and they settled in. Then, so Prahlad Maharaj was sent to this school, Shandandamarka, and where he was being educated in diplomacy, politics, economics. But when Hiranyakashipu asked Prahlad Maharaj what's the best thing that he had learned, from this, what he had, best thing that he had learned, his answer was that worshipping Lord Vishnu is the best of all education that he had received. However, Hiranyakashipu became angry with this, and he tried to, kill Prahlad Maharaj in various ways. However, he could do nothing, and thereby he was very, very anxious. Mm. But however, Shanda and Marka, they said, no problem. He is only 5-year-old boy, so we'll go. We'll take him with us, and then we will brainwash. He will change. Don't worry. Don't be anxious. And they tried to educate him again, but this time Prahlad Maharaj was instructing the sons of demons when the teachers were away, giving them Krishna consciousness, enlightening them, and the enlightening him, and he spoke on the importance of human life, and he spoke on the importance of devotion unto the Lord. Anybody can become a great person just by worshipping Krishna. Then he said that he had received this knowledge from Narada Muni. And then they asked, the sons of demon asked the question, how and when. Then he gives the background, when his father was away, the demigods attacked, this, country, kingdom, and they were, forcibly taking away his mother. That time she was pregnant, and yeah, so Narada Muni stopped and took her to his ashram, and she was serving Narada Muni. So being in the womb, he had learned all the spiritual education and received the spiritual education from Narada Muni. Um, so this way he was enlightening and educating the sons of demons, his schoolmates. We will continue from that point onwards. Mm. So yeah, so the sons of demons, they appreciated the teachings of Prahlad Maharaj very much, and they took them very seriously. They rejected the education, materialistic education given by Shanda and Amarka. And, Shanda and Amarka, they became, very, angry, and that, they reject, everybody's, all the children are becoming Krishna consciousness. So with this Hiranyakashipu, so they said, let's, inform Hiranyakashipu. So Hiranyakashipu became very angry at Prahlad Maharaj. Um, and he, chastised Prahlad Maharaj like anything. So he said, you are a fool. Today I shall send you to place of Yamraj. When I become angry, everyone in the three worlds trembles. Mm. By whose power? Mm, you are so impudent uh, and fearless. And so Prahlad Maharaj says, the source of my strength is also source of your strength, and like that. Mm. Um, so then Hiranyakashipu asked Prahlad Maharaj, and they actually instructs, even in that situation when his father was about to kill him and super angry. And again at that time he says, come on, fools like you, my father, they although they conquered the three worlds, but they failed to conquer their six enemies. Huh? So, and he asked to give up this kind of behavior, and so Hiranyakashipu became again very angry, and he questioned. You were saying that your Lord is all pervading. If he's all pervading, is he there in the pillar? And Hiranyakashipu took up his sword, got up from his royal seat, and with great anger struck his fist against that pillar column. So from there, so Narsinghdev appears, and there was a tumultuous sound. Everyone, all the leaders of the universe, they became afraid. Uh, the sound was very tumultuous, and so it is said that Narsinghdev had, taken this off man. Lord Vishnu had taken the form of man of lion to prove the statements of Prahlad Maharaj are correct, and to save Prahlad Maharaj, of course. So then, after that, there was a fight between Narsinghdev and Hiranyakashipu. Um, yeah, so then Narsinghdev kills Hiranyakashipu. He took, tore open the abdomen and took the intestines and put those intestines as garland. And yeah, at the twilight he killed. We all know that, on the doorway, keeping all the boons intact, boons given by Brahma intact. And so after killing Hiranyakashipu, many the demons, the followers of Hiranyakashipu, also tried to attack, but Lord killed them all. And then there was a throne in the palace. So that's where Hiranyakashipu used to sit. Lord went and sat there. And So then various demigods, uh, they offered, various beings offered prayers, you know, in glorification of Lord Narsinghadev. Inhabitants of Siddhaloka, Vidyadharloka, Nagaloka, and Prajapatis, Gandharvas, Charanas, Yakshas, Kimpurishas, various people, they offered prayers to Lord Narsinghadev. Uh, and that's how the 8th chapter ends. In the 9th chapter, entitled Prahlad Maharaj pacifies Lord Narsingha with prayers. So in this chapter, we can see that um, although the demigods offered prayers, Lord was not still pacified. Um, hmm? So he remains ferocious. Even Mother Lakshmi, Lord Brahma, they were not they could not approach Narsinghdev even after the prayers by all the demigods and Mother Lakshmi, even Brahma. So and Brahma said, Prahlad Maharaj, you go and pacify the Lord. And so Prahlad Maharaj went and he fell at the lotus feet of Narsingdev, and Narsingdev placed his lotus hand on the head of Prahlad Maharaj and bestows spiritual knowledge. Prahlad Maharaj offers prayers, to pacify the Lord. Uh, so yeah, so these prayers. There are a number of prayers, but I will just touch a few. What Prahlad Maharaj offered. This is chapter 10, right? Yeah. sorry, chapter 9. I beg your pardon. Yeah. So chapter 9. Yeah. So entire chapter consists of prayers mainly, and just a few things I just wanted to highlight from his prayers. Um, yeah, it says no material qualification easily satisfy you. Only bhakti can satisfy you. And he says a low born devotee is better than a brahmana non-devotee. So if a brahmana is a non-devotee, yeah, but a low born person becomes a devotee, that devotee is better, he says. Having devotee qualities of a devotee is most important. uh, yeah, he says, I am offering these prayers for my purification. Although you look very fearful, but I'm not afraid of your fearful form, because, just like a lion is very dear to the cubs, you are also very dear to me. And please give up your anger. Um, yeah, so, and other things he mentioned, let me serve, let me have the association of your devotees, let me serve your devotees. This is an important prayer. So you have mercifully put your hand on my head, for which I am very grateful. Um, and you are not partial, you are always reciprocal. And I want to serve Narada Muni because he gave me the spiritual education. He remembered his spiritual master. Yeah, so, and Narada Muni also showed a lot of compassion. He said that he wanted to be in this world rather than, going to lonely places such as Himalayas. He wants to stay in this town and preach Krishna consciousness, educate everyone, so that everyone goes back to uh, you know the spiritual world. uh. So yeah, I'm fearless, but I'm concerned about fools. uh. Uh, I do not wish to be delivered alone, leaving these fools and these fools. So he says that, let me educate everyone. I wanted to be here, and I want to educate everyone, and I want to bring everyone to your lotus feet. They are thinking that they can be happy in this material world without taking shelter of your lotus feet, but I know that they will be miserable. Let me bring everyone to your lotus feet. Hmm? So this is the mood of Prabhupada also. Hmm? So that's how chapter 9 ends, and mainly consists of prayers by Prahlad Maharaj. Then chapter 10, yeah, is so entitled Prahlad, the best among the exalted devotees. Hmm? Um, So in the previous chapter, sorry, I missed one point, I guess. Yeah, actually, Dev says, in the ninth chapter, that he wanted to give him a boon. Um, Please, my dear Prahlad, you are very fortunate. Please let me know from let please know from me that those who are very wise and highly elevated try to please me in all different modes and mellows. Yeah, yeah. So Narada, yeah, but Prahlad Maharaj, although Dev wanted to give a boon, he got pacified. after after hearing the prayers of Prahlad Maharaj, and he wanted to give a boon, but Prahlad Maharaj was very much afraid of asking for a material boon. Mm. Then the 10th chapter, yeah. So, Lord again insists, but Prahlad Maharaj says that, my Lord, if you want to give me a boon, may I ask for, a boon such that I do not have any material desires in core of my heart. Please remove, if you want to give me a boon, please remove the material desires from the core of my heart, and I should serve the Lord selflessly. And he says it's not a business. I'm doing devotion to receive something, material benefit. It's like a business, like that. However, Narsimdev, he he gave benediction, saying that you rule the kingdom until the end of this kalpa, and then you come back to me. Sorry. Today. Not today. Sorry, somebody is speaking. Yeah. Okay, where am I? Yeah. Yeah, Prahlad, however, he said, okay, if you still want to give some benediction, please, forgive my father and award liberation. But Narsimdev said, because you are a pure devotee, 21 generations of your family are liberated due to your devotion. And then Lord instructs Prahlad Maharaj. So this instruction is very important for all of us, that continue your duties and engage in the devotion service while remaining unattached. So this is what he says. Okay, now I will, I request that you occupy the throne, you rule the subjects, you continue, you work, continue to work, continue to render your duties, perform your duties, but at the same time engage in devotional service without, while remaining unattached. So this is what we should do. I think it's a very useful instruction. We have to do our duties. And then actually, he instructs Lord Brahma also. Lord Brahma offers prayers. He glorifies Narsimdev, and Narsimdev, tells Brahma not to give these kind of boons to demons again. And then he disappears from that place. Lord Narsimdev disappears. And after that, Lord Brahma enthrones Prahlad Maharaj, and he goes away. So after this, Narada Muni, so he says, exalted persons like Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma could not properly describe the truth of Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna. May the Lord, who is always worshipped as the protector of all the devotees by great saint Saints who observe vow of silence, meditation, devotional service, and renunciation be pleased with us. So then he glorifies that this Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. So he tells Yudhishthir, you are so lucky that he became very close associate of you. Mm. And then he says that that Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead who saved Lord Shiva, and he gives this one instance here. So earlier, once upon time, this Mayadhanav, the architect of demons, he had created three cities, Tripura. Three means three. Pura means towns, three townships. They resembled an airplane. And they are these resembled airplanes are made up of gold, silver, and iron, and they contained uncommon paraphernalia. Mm. Because of these three dwellings, the demons remain invisible to the demigods, taking the advantage of this opportunity. So the demons try to began to vanquish the three worlds, upper, middle, lower. Mm. So seeing this situation, all the demigods, they approach Lord Shiva to kindly save them. Lord Shiva said, do not be afraid. And he, with his fiery beams emanating from the sun globe, and covered the three residential airplanes. Mm. And attacked by Lord Shiva's arrows, the demons actually they are all dead. But however, Mayadanav, what he did is what he had done. There was a well containing a nectar, and he just threw the dead bodies of demon in that well of nectar, well containing nectar. And as soon as the dead bodies touched the nectar, they became alive. So Lord Shiva got perplexed. I put so much effort to kill these guys. Now Mayadana brought them back to life. So seeing Lord Shiva very much aggrieved and disappointed, Lord Vishnu considered how to stop this nuisance created by Mayadana. So then Lord Brahma became calf, and Lord Vishnu cow, a cow, and then they entered this residence and drank all the nectar. Mayadana, the creator of this well and this nectar, as well as the three townships, he was seeing these situations, but he could not stop it, because being influenced by Lord Vishnu's Maya, illusory potency, could do nothing. And that way, um, you know, every drop of nectar had been drunk. So, they finished completely drinking the nectar. And then after, Lord Shiva and Lord Krishna actually uh, empowers Lord Shiva with various weapons, and Lord Shiva then attacks and kills, destroys the three townships, and that's how he gets the name Tripurari. So this story is being narrated in this chapter as well. So this 10th chapter. So Prahlad Maharaj rejects material boon, and he asks that if he not nourishing they wants to give him a boon, better destroy the material desires. And however, because he was Lord Nrsimhadev was insisting so much. Then he asks Nrsimhadev to, excuse his father, and Nrsimhadev gives him the boon that that he should occupy the throne and rule the kingdom in the absence of his father, and his father has already been delivered, because Prahlad Maharaj is a devotee. Not only his father, but 21 generations of his family will be delivered. And then Lord Nrsimhadev disappears, and but before disappearing, he also wants Brahma not to give such kind of boons again to any demons. And Brahma enthrones Prahlad Maharaj, and Narada Muni, glorifies Lord Vishnu, and he says, then he glorifies Lord Krishna. He says that Lord Krishna is the supreme, and once upon a time he actually helped Lord Shiva, and he tells the story of Tripurari, how Lord Shiva was able to destroy these three townships created by Mayadhanav. Mm. So now with that, we'll move to chapter 11. Yeah, so these chapters, so the first 10 chapters of the seventh canto describe the pure devotion of Prahlad Maharaj. And the last 5 chapters, 11 till 15 of the seventh canto, they describe the Varnashrama Dharma. And the main focus was how, by working without attachment, one can be elevated in the in spiritual in their spiritual life. So in chapter 11, where Yudhishthir Maharaj asks this question, he asks two questions. What is eternal occupation? Means, what is Sanatana Dharma? Second is, what is the Varnashrama Dharma? So Sanatana Dharma means eternal occupation. Eternal occupation of every living is entities to serve Krishna. So that is, bhakti, render bhakti onto Krishna. Uh, hmm? So savai pumsam parodharmo yatho bhakti radokshaje. Parodharma, eternal occupation of every living entity, is Sanatan Dharma is to serve the Lord. So that is to engage in Bhakti Yoga. And the next question is about Varnashrama Dharma. This Varnashrama Dharma consists of 4 social orders and 4 spiritual orders. In the 11th chapter, Narada Muni talks about 4 Varnas, the social orders. And in the remaining chapters, Narada Muni talks about the 4 spiritual orders. So chapter 11, in chapter 11, the main focus was on social orders, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya. And the rest of the chapters, 12, 13, 14, 15, they are dedicated for for the description of the spiritual orders, which is brahmachari, grihastha, vanaprastha, sannyasi. Yeah. So, and we all know about the 4 social orders. And the Brahmanas, their duties, worship the deity, teach scriptures, and they lead a life based on charity and study. Kshatriyas, they govern and protect citizens, they levy taxes, etc. And Vaishyas, engage in agriculture, trade, and cow protection. Mm. And Shudras, they serve the higher classes, the three higher classes, and contribute to uh, social stability. So these Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita that these classes, they are not based on the birth, but they are based on the quality of the person, quality and the work. So yeah, so if someone is engaged in agriculture, trade, and cow protection, they are Vaishyas. That's it. It's not the birth defines the Vaishya, but it is the quality and the work, like that. If someone is worshipping the deity, reading and hearing scriptures, educating others, like that, there are various qualities. They are Brahmanas, like that. Mm. So, mm, and there is one shloka possibly I want to read and highlight. Yes, so this is the text 35 in that one. If one shows the symptoms of being a Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, or Shudra as described above, even if he has appeared in a different class, he should be accepted according to those symptoms of classification. Hmm. So this verse highlights it's not based on the birth, but it is based on the qualifications. Hmm. And guna and karma, quality of that person, and the work, what kind of work one does. Okay, so yeah, and now we'll move on to chapter 12. So in chapter 12, so as I mentioned, chapter 11's main focus was to describe the four varnas, four social classes. And in chapter 12, Narada Muni describes the two spiritual orders, Brahmachari and Vanaprasthashram. Mm. Brahmachari is student uh, life, and Vanaprastha is the retired life. So the main focus, two ashramas, two spiritual orders are described. Mm. So the duties of brahmachari, one should study, collect alms, and always obey guru, um, mm, and yeah. So these are number of qualities have been mentioned. Uh, they should brahmacharis should stay away, know, away from men. Yes. Mm. So the Vanaprastha, duties of Vanaprastha are also given. Yeah, so these are quite like, and not sure how if we can practice in this, age. One should remain in forest for 12 years, or 8 years, or 4 years, or 2 years, or at least 1 year, mm, and should not be disturbed by too much austerity. Uh, so one should, be alone, be detached. But for us, is that at some point, or we should retire. Uh, you know, we should plan the retirement and dedicate more time for Krishna. And we should become serious. We should not be working until the last breath. There should be some arrangements. We need not to go to forest. we can, be at home and chant our Hare Krishna mantra and engage in deity worship, reading scriptures, serving devotees where possible. We can also visit holy places. Holy places we should visit whenever possible, like, yeah. So as we, get little mm, older, it's difficult to travel. mm. Um, So, yeah, that's about the Brahmachari and Vanaprasthashram. And then chapter 13, 14, 15. Chapter 13, sorry. Chapter 13 talks about the sannyas order. Hmm? Chapter 13. Uh, so, yeah, so sannyasis should renounce material connections, live minimally, travel without dependency, remain peaceful, practice devotion to the Supreme Lord, Krishna. Uh, mm, and yeah, and then there is a Paramahamsa state. Uh, Paramahamsa state means, they're, they don't follow any social customs. They're above such customs. Mm. A state where one transcends the material desires and devoted to the Lord. And these individuals completely depend on Krishna, and their goal is to satisfy Krishna. This is a Paramahamsa stage. uh, they are beyond the social customs. Sannyas has to follow social customs, but the Paramahamsa stage is beyond the social customs. And there is a story mentioned how, once, how Prahlad Maharaj once met one Paramahamsa, uh, you know, who was just lying on the ground, but yet he was very stout. And so Prahlad Maharaj asked him that, that, how he was, not working and still very stout. And he said he will follow the python. Python just simply stays in one place and grabs, food comes on its way like that. And then he gave some wonderful lessons. This uh, this saintly person. Um, Let me see once. Yeah, there are two lessons he gives. Um, so he says that he had learned lessons from bee and python. So from bumblebee, he said that he didn't want to collect too much. Mm. Because bumblebee works so hard and it collects and stores, and someone else steals that. Mm. And so that's why this saint says uh, that he doesn't want to accumulate too much. Mm. uh, be satisfied collecting only little, and how to stay in one place, not to move. Mm. Python just lives in one place and it just grabs whatever, like, comes on its way. So uh, and yeah, so after that, uh, yeah, so after Prahlad Maharaj, the king of demons, heard these instructions from the saint, he understood the occupational duties of a Paramahamsa. Thus, he duly worshipped the saint and took his permission and then left for his own home. So then we'll move on to chapter 14. Hmm. Chapter 14 and 15 focuses mainly on Grihasthashram. Hmm. And so, what is the primary duty of a Grihastha householder is to depend fully on and satisfy Vasudeva Krishna through the prescribed devotional service. So this is the main aspect, to depend on Vasudeva, depend on Krishna, worship Krishna. Hmm. Uh, and then Grihasthas should associate with saintly people and listen to them. Always, this is an important aspect for Grihasthas. And don't over endeavor for the material things. Hmm. Uh, Simple living, high thinking has been prescribed. Hmm. And engage in agriculture, cow protection, trade, and other religious activities. And householder members should be compassionate towards animals, all animals, and provide for all living beings, without exploiting them or harming them. Mm. All the living entities, birds, dogs, cats, everything. Mm. Um, and the wealth should be used for spiritual purposes, uh, and rather than indulging in the sense pleasure, using it for the sense pleasure. Mm. And as a Grihastha, one should visit various sacred holy places, as mentioned before. And at the end, the chapter talks about the associating with Brahmanas. Uh, huh? So, my dear king, Nardamani is saying that qualified Brahmana must be accepted as the best within this material world. Hmm. And so Grihasthas should take the association of these saintly persons. Saintly person is a Brahmana, basically. So Brahmanas, by their preaching, sanctify the three worlds with the dust of their lotus feet. Mm. Thus they are worshipable even for Krishna. So saintly people, they purify the three worlds with the dust of their feet. Mm. So they are Brahmanas. Saintly people are Brahmanas, and they are, it says they are worshipable even for Krishna. So that's why Grihasthas should associate with the saintly people. And 15th chapter talks about how various, different types of brahmanas or different types of sannyasis, uh, such as, householder brahmanas, and there are brahmanas studying and teaching Vedas, and sannyasin engaging in various forms of yoga. Hmm. uh, are there. But ideally, when you want to take association, you should see the character of that person. Um, and ideally, one should take the association of person who is engaged in bhakti yoga. Mm. And then this chapter also talks about the performing the timings for conducting final rites, shraddha rituals, in order to honor their forefathers. That talks, quite a bit of that is mentioned in this chapter. But it is mentioned that in any sacrifice one should offer uh, prasad. First food should be offered to Krishna, then should be offered to either demigods or ancestors, forefathers, etc. That is mentioned. Um, so the highest goal of human life is conquering material desires and advancing in Krishna consciousness through devotion is mentioned. Uh, yeah, quite a few things have been mentioned here in this chapter, but at the end, Narada Muni tells his own story, that in the past life he was a Gandharva named uh, 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 just 1 second. Yeah, Upabharhana. He was very, respected because he was very good at singing. He was very handsome, and he was very attractive to many ladies of his city. So he was, he was once there was a Sankirtan festival. He was invited to come and sing there, but he attended that Sankirtan festival to glorify Krishna. But he went there being surrounded by women, and also did not glorify the Lord. He was singing something else, and as a result of that, um, so he was hmm, cursed by the Prajapatis to take birth as a son of a maid servant, Shudra. Hmm. So, two offenses. His first offense was that he went to join the Sankirtan party in the company of lusty women. And another offense was that he considered ordinary songs like cinema songs and other such songs to be equal to Sankirtana. For this offense, he was punished with becoming a Shudra. Uh, so, and hmm, then he says, although I took birth as a Shudra from the womb of a maid servant, I engaged in the service of Vaishnavas who were well versed in Vedic knowledge. Consequently, in this life, I got the opportunity to take birth as son of Lord Brahma. Hmm. The process of chanting the holy name of the Lord is so powerful that by this chanting, even householders can very easily gain the ultimate result achieved by persons in the renounced order. So you need not to take sannyas. Uh, so simply by chanting uh, the holy names of the Lord, even grihasthas like ourselves can achieve the same result as a sannyasi. Mm. So uh, this is how this chapter ends. Uh, yeah. So this this way we finish. But the Narada Muni's final point was that whoever you may be, that you should, even though he was son of a maid servant, but he was elevated to great position now. That is because of the mercy of Vaishnavas. He is highlighting that point again here. Grihasthas should associate with saintly person, and they should follow their instructions. For us, it's simple. We have Prabhupada books, Prabhupada instructions, and other devotees. simply, follow Prabhupada's instructions, and wherever there is an opportunity to hear from senior Vaishnavas, we must hear from them, and that's it really. So thank you very much, and with that we conclude the summaries of seventh canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. As I mentioned in the beginning, there won't be a session next week because of it's being Gaura Purnima, the appearance of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So we have a program in the temple. So that's why we don't have a session on 13th, Thursday, 13th March. The next session will be on the 20th, Thursday, 20th March. And so from that day, we will try and begin 8th Canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, Krishna willing, with the blessings of the Lord and his devotees. We can hopefully begin 8th Canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Sri Prahalad Maharaj ki jai, Sri Yudhishthira Maharaj ki jai, Narada Muni ki jai, Narsingha Dev Bhagavan ki jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnavinda ki jai, Nitai Gaura Premanandi, Hari Hari Bol, Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so very much.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Mama, let's go end it.